Just want to welcome everyone and say good morning. Okay. Um, so welcome everyone. Welcome to the mindfulness class or uh, practice together. Let's put it that way instead of calling it class. We are going to do a 25 guided session, 25 minutes guided session. And we can start from there. Okay. So I have a timer ready and we're going to start. And the way we start, we make it simple, starting with closing our eyes, partially or completely, just so we can limit visual stimuli. Directing our attention towards breathing sensations. More so specifically, we're directing attention to our belly. Noticing the movement in the belly as we breathe in. And noticing the movement in the belly as we breathe out. While staying focused on the movement in the belly, we are quickly checking in with the body posture. The body posture we aim is supposed to be supportive to the practice. And two basic principles are always helpful. Straightfulness and stillness. Keeping our body, upper body, relatively straight supports the breathing muscles. They can move freely, especially the diaphragmatic muscle, the one that we are indirectly experiencing while observing the movement in the belly. And then stillness is more so related to relaxation. We do want to try to keep our body still throughout the formal practice. So the body posture we take, we should be relaxing enough and not provoke any pain or discomfort. We might notice urges to move. And with the urges that we notice, we are relating to them as mind wanderings. So if, for example, we notice that we have an urge to move our foot or our hand or just a little movement in other parts of the body, we recognize the urge. We stay with the urge for a few breaths, but without really responding to our urge. We let go and we bring our attention back to our belly. So as we breathe in, we will notice our belly expanding. And as we breathe out, we will notice our belly deflating back towards the spine. If we are experiencing difficulty noticing the movement in the belly, that's okay. We can always place one palm on top of the belly and just observe the way the palm and the belly move together. Breathing in, the abdomen is expanding. And breathing out, abdomen deflates back towards the spine. The reason why we are focusing on the belly to start with has a little bit of research background. While observing the belly, we are indirectly observing the diaphragmatic muscle. And by engaging diaphragmatic muscle, we are also switching to parasympathetical nervous system, or our rest and digest system. So in a way, we are helping, or we are actively participating in activating relaxation response in the body. Breathing in, noticing the belly expanding. And breathing out, noticing the belly deflating back towards the spine. While observing our breathing sensation in our abdomen area, sooner or later, we become aware of another natural process that is happening at all times. Our mind is always paying attention to something, and also our mind shifts attention frequently. Now, we can lock in attention by intentionally placing attention on something, or our attention can be locked in or taken away by something. So we started off by focusing our attention on the belly intentionally. But due to the way our mind naturally works, we'll notice a shift in the attention. And it's very important the way we relate to that shift. So as soon as we notice that our mind has shifted attention to something else, just kindly, gently, we notice what the distraction was, and we let go, shifting attention back to our belly and breathing sensations. Especially at the beginning, we are more noticing our mind shifting attention and engaging in thoughts. could be thoughts about the past, could be thoughts about the future. We might have some thoughts about the practice itself. But as soon as we notice that our mind is engaged in thinking rather than observing the movement in the belly, without furthering that thought or being pejorative for not being able to sustain attention, we let go and bring attention back to breathing. So the increment in practice comes from this awareness of mind wandering off. So even though it might sound that is not helpful to the practice, but actually every time we become aware that our mind has wandered off and we bring it back to breathing sensations is an increment in practice. So having said that, the experience of our mind may be frequently wandering. We approach with kindness and compassion, knowing that that's a natural state of our mind, and also knowing that recognizing when that happens and bringing mind back to breathing is actually supportive to the practice. Breathing in, feeling the abdomen expanding, and breathing out, feeling the abdomen deflating back towards the spine. Noticing if mind wanders off, and just gently, calmly letting go. So, sustaining attention on the movement in the belly does not come from working harder than trying to discipline, but rather from letting go. So as soon as we let go, we're back to breathing sensations. Now that we are a little bit more into the practice, we will start paying a little bit closer attention to our exhaling breath. That itself, again, has a little bit of a background in the research, and it's helpful in actively participating in activating relaxation response. Our exhaling breath is connected with the vagus nerve, and every time we breathe out more mindfully, more truly, we're activating the vagus nerve, and in return, the vagus nerve activates relaxation response in the body. So breathing out just a little bit slower than usual and a little bit longer than usual. Breathing out just a little bit slower than usual and a little bit longer than usual. To fully experience this effect of the vagus nerve, we could experiment by engaging the breathing muscles at the end of the exhaling breath and push a little bit more. Breathing out a little bit slower than usual, a little bit longer than usual, engaging the breathing muscles and pushing just a little bit more. Once we do so, in my experience, this immediate biofeedback from the body that it feels like not just releasing the air, but also releasing tensions in the body or sinking deeper into relaxation. Activating relaxation response is also supportive to the practice. It's not the main goal and it's not the aim, but it helps with peaceful and calmly relating whatever we experience in our space of awareness once we start focusing on breathing sensations. So all the experiences that we have, we're not trying to avoid them, neither we're trying to suppress them or figure them out. But whatever comes up, we can peacefully and calmly relate. Once relaxed, our mood naturally bounce back to positive. Breathing in, experiencing the movement in the belly. And breathing out, experiencing the movement in the belly. Noticing when our mind wanders off, and the very same moment we become aware, we let go, bringing attention back to breathing. This mindfulness process of intentionally placing attention on breathing sensations, becoming aware when mind wanders off, and letting go, shifting attention back to breathing sensations, in literature is referred as mindfulness cycle. And in the formal practice, sometimes we might go through this mindfulness process thousands of times, and that's okay. Whether we are focused on the breath and we are aware of that, or we are not focused on the breath and we are aware of that, we are mindful. Mindfulness is about the awareness that arises when we place our attention intentionally on breathing sensations. Breathing in, knowing that we are breathing in. Breathing out, knowing that we are breathing out. We can expand our awareness of the breathing sensations by noticing the way the air travels through the nostrils, down the throat, and noticing the lungs and the belly expanding, but starting with the belly first. And then we can observe the exhaling breath, noticing the belly starting to deflate back towards the spine, helping the lungs push the air through the throat, through the nostrils, in the environment. Breathing is a natural process. And the only question is, can we be present and observe as it happens? Breathing in, knowing that we are breathing in. Breathing out, knowing that we are breathing out. Noticing if our attention gets captivated by something else. No matter what that else is, we respond in the same way by noticing, letting go, and shifting attention back to breathing. On the next exhaling breath, we will allow ourselves to move. Maybe introduce a slight stretch if necessary, and open eyes when ready.